Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 37 of our All the Mod 6 to the Sky Let's Play series. Where today I'm going to try something. I never knew this was possible, but I think this will work. Hiya! Ha 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 ha! I didn't know you can samurai. I liked that. That was pretty cool. And then hiya, hiya. I don't know if it works on anything else. Yeah, only on bamboo, because sugarcane's an instant break no matter what anyway. So, but yeah, pretty cool. Didn't know that. I like that. I like it a lot. Anyway, so last episode I said I was going to go ahead and, upgrade and move our things. So I did. So if we go to our storage and automations, get out of my way. We have our auto compressor here set up to do its thing. It's exporting. Auto compressor is a little bit slow, to be honest with you. I would think it would be doing 3 processes at a time here. So a little bummer.